I'm going to try and do a bit more of this carving. Just try and get it. I need to try and get it finished. I'm just tweak with this a little bit while there's nobody on. Take my watch off, as always. So. Yeah, we'll go for that. So have to see who's tornado chaser. It's how we doing tonight, buddy? You had a good day? Let me just have a look, see if we get this set up so we can see what. Yeah, he's had a good day. Nice. Perfect. That's nice. Back to school. That spider, it was brilliant last night. Just a final little bit, I saw that spider. I thought, I know somebody will like that. Did make me chuckle. School's pretty good. Nice. Well, that's always positive. If school's good, it's it makes life a lot easier. I remember school, not always great, but majority of the time it was all right. But I was happy to leave school. Let's put it that way. So hopefully we're going to get a few people on the chat this evening. Hopefully we'll get everyone say hello. Try and do a bit more on this. Getting close to being finished. It's all just about cleaning up now, really, with this. Hopefully we'll get it all cleaned up and looking good. And that we'll got to rub it down with that wet and dry again, like you saw me do last night. I don't know if you can hear the wind in the background. It is seriously windy today. Can you hear that through the camera? I'm just going to shut that down and restart that because it's not. I presume you can all hear me okay. Better look. Holy wind. It is, to be honest with you, it is unbelievably windy. Yes, I'm looking forward to getting this. Hi, James. Looking forward to getting this off the workbench and getting it shipped out, which will be nice. Yeah, we'll get it finished, get it done and gone, and then we'll start something new. Got my wedding anniversary present to start. That football carving to do as well. Quite looking forward to the football one next. I've done it before Everton, but it's a solid piece to do. It's always nice, and they need a little bit of luck in it. We don't have many sports fans in, but Everton is they're not particularly having a good time at the minute, so it might bring him a bit of luck. So, who's in the chat? Who's around this evening? Who's going to say hello? Tornado Chasers primed and ready to go with his as his moderator. Wasn't last night bizarre with some of them people in the chat? What is that all about? That was bizarre. Absolutely bizarre. I was telling the guy at work about it today. He just couldn't get his head around it. So was that one person keep changing their name and profile, or was that multiple? Yeah, so this is all about just tidying up this evening. I'll just give it an hour, tidy it all up. Got a couple of chisels sharp, which is nice. Yeah, and we're going to rub it all down with that wet and dry again, like we did last night, which is surprising. Somebody said it was surprisingly satisfying. Can't remember who that was. What do you do to stop chipping or losing the fine detail? It's just angle of the chisel, really. It's or are you asking how do you know when to stop? Or so I'm reading that right. No, so what happens if I mess up? We literally just start again. There's always another piece of stone, or there's always another piece of slate. Luckily, touch wood, doesn't happen too often. It's to be honest with you, in the last 8 years, it's happened very little. I once carved a big old piece of stone with like hundreds of letters on there, and it was for a parish council, and they commissioned it, and they actually gave me the wrong wording. It's yeah, so that was a little bit disappointing. We had to redo that, but it happens. That's how you learn. Be positive. There's no point being a bit grumpy about it. Well, I say that I'm not grumpy about it. I'm grumpy for about 10 minutes, and then I just think, well, we'll have another go. There is a video of me on the channel carving a Taurus, and that broke, that chipped off. Yeah, so out of the 250 projects I've carved on the channel, if not more now, I think there's only 2 where we've had a slight problem. Which is not bad, I don't think. How you go? I'm going well. It's yeah, I'm going really well actually. I had a tough day at work. Been building a boardwalk. I don't know if you know what a boardwalk is. A place called Crome Hill in the Peak District, part of my day job. That's where they filmed the final scene of Peaky Blinders. I don't know if you know it, with Tommy Shelby with his horse going over the hills. So if you're just tuning in and you're watching me carve this slate, normally I'm carving stone. I don't often carve slate on the channel. Not live anyway. There's plenty of my videos carving it, but I don't normally do it live. It's a lot more delicate process than the stone. If you were here to watch me carve the Thundercats the other day, just wondering where you get those long lettering chisels. I'd get a short ones that you're a bit uncomfortable because I close up to piece. Dr. Lovegreen says that's nice. Peter Jones, not too bad every time yet. The customer's name is Nelson. Brilliant. Ha! Actually doing something cool. Someone actually doing something cool. Well, that's nice. So chisels, these, if you want to set these chisels, you've come to the right place because I got you a discount code on these. They're from a company called Southern Stone Limited. They're a British company based in Devon, family run. You want Tim and Debs at Southern Stone Limited. Get in touch with them. Tell them the Stone Ranger sent you, and they'll give you a discount. So there is actually a video on my channel which will release a discount code. Like I say to everybody, the code is at the end of the video. Do me a favour and watch enough of the video that the YouTube algorithm works, but feel free to skip to the end. Get the code, go on there, buy some chisels. These are Italian tungsten, beautiful chisels. I've got loads and loads of chisels on here from them. Yeah, that's where you want to go. Hopefully that helps you. Who was it who said, no one's told him it's Nelson? This is actually Simple Minds, Nelson. This is for the album cover for Simple Minds. It's actually going to go to Jim Kerr, the lead singer of Simple Minds, in his villa. I keep telling myself his villa's in Spain. It might not be. It just sounds a cool place. This looks really good. That's great. Cheers, mate. Yeah. So do that. That's the chisels that you want. They will look after you. Send them, or just go. You can go direct on the website and buy them, but be a fool not to go and get the discount code. I like to see everybody at the channel get to save a little bit of money. Like at the minute, I've just come to a deal with Evolution Power Tools on a stone saw. They've sent me a stone saw to do, so you can. You want to buy this? A little video on it there, not too much at the minute, but you actually get a discount. I can give you a discount code for Evolution Power Tools to buying a saw. So the channel's growing. It's getting good. I'm doing a job for a company what makes wedding rings as well, and they give you, this is my wedding ring I made myself, and I'm going to get a new one. And these companies give you a little piece of rubber to go around your wedding ring if you're working. Keeps it don't scratch, so I don't scratch the slate. I'm going to be able to give you a massive 30% discount for them. 30% is huge, and they are beautiful, like seriously beautiful. I'm going to buy one called the Glen. So it's 8mm. Inside is made, so it's wood and metal, forged in timber, they're called. Inside's made of an old whiskey barrel, and the outer ring is stainless. And then they do another really nice one called what's it called now? I can't remember off the top of my head. I was only reading them last night as well. But it's made from fiberglass, and I think that'd work really well if you're working with stone on the fiberglass. It wouldn't scratch. It was starting to make things just change a little bit in the Stone Ranger now. We're picking up enough traction that people want to give us discount codes for stuff so I can pass on to you guys. And one company, Evolution, with the saw saying, "Oh, for everyone you sell, you can have a 5% commission." I said, "I don't want the 5% commission. Just give an extra discount to the subscribers. That's who it's for." I replied to a message the other day. Someone said it's really nice that you're giving away the advice for free. You might have all seen it on the community tab. And he was saying, keep up the good work and everything else, and how the channel's good. I was explaining to him, like, the channel's no good without you guys. You are what make the channel. The people that watch, the subscribers, the members, the people who hit the thumbs up. Talking of thumbs up, we're on 10. Wow. That's really cool. Oh, change my brand of tea bags this evening. I know this is how riveting it is at the TheStoneRanger. I've been drinking Twinings for the last couple of weeks. I've just gone for a Yorkshire tea. Nice. I think, what's the logo for Yorkshire tea? Yorkshire tea, like tea used to be. Proper tea. Yeah, so tonight is just a case of, let's go around and tidy this up. Let's get this ready. So what determines me sharpening a chisel depends on the material, depends on how much I'm moving at the time on the material, and so that'll say how much welly I'm giving it. So I'm not sharpening this too much at the minute because I'm just going around tippy tappy. But generally, I'm sharpening my chisel with slate more than I am with stone. You just get to feel it, or if I know that I'm going to start a new piece, say around the edge of this heart, I'd give that sharpen. Give that a little sharpen just before I start it so it's crisp. Nice sharp edge on a diamond block. You get to know your chisels. I do sharpen them slightly more than I possibly should. It's it's something that, especially with the slate. And if I just feel, or if I just think, right, I'm just gonna, you have a natural break. You just kind of know. But with stone, you could just keep going, moving all the material, and then just sharpen it when you're just ready to put some detail in there or smooth it up at the edge. But a lot of it's to do with angle as well. You don't want to be sharpening just for the sake of it. If you've not got the right angle when you're holding the chisel, you're not going to. It's not going to be used to its most effectiveness. And by sharpening them, you're taking the lifespan of the chisel down. And they're not the cheapest things in the world. Say this chisel here, this 6mm, £18. It's not breaking the bank, but also you have a selection of, say, 40 chisels. That's starting to add up, yeah? Always Yorkshire tea. He knows his stuff, James. So what projects we all working on at the minute? 11 thumbs up. We've been on a roll. Honestly, I don't want to jinx it, but we have been on a roll. Ever since I appointed Tornado Chaser as the moderator, we've had some decent numbers. Oh, party services. I'm not sure whether that comment is one for Tornado Chaser or not. So what's the negative thing to a spam? Can someone explain this to me? So last night when we had Madonna, Katie Price, and all that, what are they trying to achieve there? I don't really understand it. Is it a bad thing that they're in the chat? Are they just... I don't get it. Someone will have to explain it to me. Are they just... Is it just an attention thing? And have fun. See, I'm not against the fun bit. Is it like just... Oops, sorry. I'm apologising because I've just tapped the camera. Is it just like childish? So YouTube work as a... Oh, they act like celebrity stuff. Okay. So if YouTube works by views, right, and people been on your thing, and the more comments, the more thumbs up, helps the algorithm. They think, wow, he's doing a good job. We'll promote him to some other people. Is that right? So if that's right, when people are on there and they're acting up, oh, so they're annoying everyone in the chat. Okay, yeah, I get that. That's different because there's that old-fashioned saying in there's no such thing as bad publicity. So whatever they're on there and they're chatting and they're talking and the algorithm's thinking, oh, it's popular on there. I mean, is that not how it works? I never thought there would be anything more complicated in this world to understand than women, but actually, I think YouTube. I never know what my wife's thinking. I never know if she says, yeah, that's a good idea, if it's actually a good idea. And YouTube's a bit like that. He's on it. He's on it. He don't mess around. I did try to warn you. He doesn't mess around. Tornado Chaser has the power. Anybody in the chat any good at public speaking? I'm reading a new book about public speaking to get better at it because it terrifies me, and I have to do a bit of talking to people, and that's with the more and more progress through my ranger career, the more and more you have to stand and talk to people. You know, in public speaking, Paxton Hill, is that right? So I've got this new book about learning to public speak, like TED Talk. We heard a TED Talk. So I was listening to it last night while I was just doing some paper. Well, my brain went off on this kind of way of thinking, oh, what happens if I did a speech of these and what would I say? And my brain came up with this speech. Oh, everyone was absolutely howling with laughter. I mean, it was just me thinking about it, but I had this speech nailed. I couldn't sleep because I was thinking, how do I tweak it? How do I make it better? I don't even have a speech to do. I was just trying to improve. Yeah, the chat is a little bit slower this evening. Everyone seems to like what we're doing. Nigel Farage is very good at public speaking, you're right, actually. I'll give him that. He's good at knocking a few pints back. He's good at public speaking. He's good at finding a gap in the market and really running with it. The Reform Party, how many did they seats have they got now? I know I don't really know how the seat bit works, but they did pretty well. And if he keeps it up, he's going to do incredibly well at next election. Yeah, he did actually. Good on Nigel. It's a constant battle for you. Well, for all the people who have hit the thumbs up button, thank you. I do appreciate it. We've got 12 thumbs up. That's massive. As always, we aim for 10. So, yeah. If you're just tuning in, yeah, I am. You're right. I'm thinking, right, have I done enough in that area before I move on? So it'll go. I will go again. You see. So I'm going round now, giving it another clean, and I'll just keep going round, thinking, right, have I done enough there? Stop, have a look, try and work it out. You're right. Good eyes. I'm also trying to read the comments at the same time, which sometimes can be difficult. You know, when it gets really busy in the comments, they can blast on through then. And I don't like to miss because I think people have tried to ask me something. So, no, yeah. There's a lot going on. I'm chiseling. I'm trying to work this out and read the comments and think about what I'm going to say. And every now and again think, oh, I've got a cup of tea behind me, don't let it go cold. Chipping too much. No, it's there's a multitasking. So while I've got a couple of people on, I'll explain to you what this is. So this is a piece of reclaimed 1920s Welsh slate. It's a piece of Welsh slate. What was originally 50 mil. It was an old water tank, and I bought this. I bought the whole water tank for £500, and I split it and do all sorts of jobs out there. I did one particular job out there where I made a headstone for a guy in Senegal, and his son commissioned it, and his son wanted something he could remember his dad by back in the UK. And one thing they did together, he taught him how to cook. Dad taught his son how to cook. So what I did, I was having a kitchen fitted at the time. Redid all his kitchen worktops in this slate. I split it all down. I polished it all. So when you polish this, it brings out a grain. It's like looking into the darkest sky, and you just see little twinkles, or you'll just see a little pattern or something across the sky. It's unbelievable Welsh slate, good quality Welsh slate when it's polished. And I did all his kitchen worktops on it with a 45-degree chamfer, and I finished with olive oil. So every time he wipes down his kitchen surface now, at the end of the evening, he wipes it down, and he's got the same stone, exact same piece of stone that I carved his dad's headstone in, which is back in Senegal. Oh, no. Video for it. Could you still hear me, though? Could you still hear what I was talking about, even though the video froze? Somebody let me know. Oh, well, that's good. So yeah, that's how this stone came about, and it's beautiful stone to work. And I've carved so much with this stone, so much, and I've still got loads of it left. It's so beautiful. It was a great buy at £500, and like I said, I split it. I could cut a piece of stone like this size. I could cut it into 4. I could split it into maybe 12, polish them down, and carve individual house numbers out of that one small piece of stone. Not one small piece of stone there. It's when you think about paying £500 for a whole water tank, it was a bargain. When I lifted it off with my forklift, and I bought it at the time, don't have the forklift anymore, but I lifted it off the forklift, it was so heavy. The slate is so heavy compared to stone. So we've not had any pictures sent in recently. As I say, that's not actually true, is it? Because Brian sent the picture in. But that came through Facebook. We're not getting many pictures in through YouTube. If you're working on something and you want to share it with us, send it in on the email address. That'd be great. I love to see what people are working on. I love getting a message saying, "Oh, I've been watching the channel and I decided to have a go at this." They're my favourite type of messages. So let's send some in. Need to stick a bit more on the logo board. Someone's requested a new logo, and it's that much of a logo, I might have to do it on its own. So I call it the rivet effect. So you'll see. Let me show you. Oh, we're here. Same effect, rivet effect on the back. That's how I've split it. It's hopefully you can see that. So yeah, you can still carve that. Just be where it's going to go up and actually carve in stone what is a little bit wavy. If you've got a minute, go back and look at a couple of videos of me carving like a rough back or a natural piece of stone. You follow the contour of the stone. It's a whole different finish, the way it goes up and down. You could go on and see a couple of the videos of me carving some really big pieces on there. And you'll see how it goes, like the Longley Farm, I think it was, which was a great big 1.5 ton piece of stone. So it follows it up and down different. Or just polish it, grind it flat, polish it down, which is always great. I'm going to change this up. Yeah, so I was saying the new logo, I feel like it needs to have its own carving. It was the Freemason symbol. I kind of think it'd be quite cool to do. I don't know if there's how people feel about the Freemasons. I remember watching a BBC documentary about the Freemasons. I can't remember much of it. I know that 2 things I remember. One guy was there and he had an really old Volvo, and he was going around to promote the Freemasons, and they weren't so keen about him going in that car, so they bought him a brand new Volvo, which was nice. And they said another one, they had an open account, so they asked how much money was in the bank, and it was like millions. It was a ridiculous amount of money they had in the bank. They said, "Have you raised all this money to get in your bank?" And they basically put it down to having a coffee morning. I mean, I should have a coffee morning. Raise some money for a new camera. $13 thumbs up. Now, is that lucky? Is that unlucky or not? Are we superstitious? Are we happy with it? There's a couple of extra little bits to do here. But it's starting to neaten up. Hopefully you're seeing it neaten up a little. Oh, 15. Do you know, I know I shouldn't be bothered about 13 minutes. It does make me feel a little better knowing that we're not stuck on the 13. It shouldn't bother me, should it? He's back. Has it been 10 minutes already? Did you give him like a 10-minute red card? Right, let's do a bit on the thing. It's swig of tea time though. Ooh, sorry if that was a bit loud. I really went for it because it was getting cold. It's nice. Do you know when you look down at the screen? So I have a screen down the bottom so I can try and keep up with the comments. And you see the numbers ticking on by, so you can see a consistent, decent amount of people what YouTube's showing it to. I mean, the other day we had like 200 and something in one go. Obviously, we're not on them numbers this evening, but we're consistently in them double figures. We're consistently in them 20s, like high teens, low 20s, which is really nice. I'm saying, I've ever told you all the story about the time I was carving away for like half an hour, 40 minutes to one person. I had one person watching the stream, and at the time I had another phone running so I could see the comments. And I was carving away for like, let's say half an hour, and I kept chatting to this one person, trying to get him to engage in the chat, and thinking there's one person still watching. I could just give up here, and they could just go in the house. It was cold. I thought, no, this is what it's like on YouTube. Some days you'll get 50, some days you'll get none. But I was lucky, I had one. And I kept chatting and chatting and chatting away, really going for it and explaining carving, hammers, the chisels, what the job was, all sorts. And then I realised actually that one person was me watching it on my other phone, so I could see the comments. So that was quite embarrassing. So I'd been talking to myself, genuinely just talking to myself for half an hour. I did tell my wife, I probably shouldn't have done. She did take the mickey at me a little bit for that. Does anybody else who's watching this evening have a YouTube channel? I always think it's fair if you've got a YouTube channel. I know there's some kind of YouTube etiquette where you don't promote your channel in the chat, but I quite like the idea that if you're following me, I can follow you. So I like to return the favour. I did it with Black Lion the other day. Tornado Chasers. It is supposed to say Melson. Oh no. Oh no. I best ring him up. I'll let him have it anyway and I'll just give him a discount, shall I? Maybe that'll work. Do you reckon that'll smooth it out? Well, we'll have a word with him, see what he says. If he squints, we might get away with it. So this is actually the guy who's getting all this, what's it called? Sort of the guy I'm dealing with, Dan is called. He's in Saudi Arabia, and then he's taking this over, or this is going to get shipped to the villa, and then he's going to take it over. So what I'm trying to say is basically when I'm doing a job for somebody like this, I'll mark it on the stone, and I'll let them approve it first. So one thing I've learned is that get the customer to sign it off before you've started. So mark it on the, show them a design, or let them send you a design. Show them the design you've come up with, then show them it marked on the stone, and when they say they're happy, then you carve, because they've had the opportunity to pick up on the spelling mistakes. You need them to sign it off that they're happy with the spelling and the spacing. So maybe 10 o'clock already. That's incredible. So if there's anybody in the chat who's new now and they're thinking, do you know what, I could have a go at this, I could do this, you could. You generally could. There's enough videos on my channels that you could learn how to do this. And if you want to buy some chisels, like I was saying earlier, there's a discount code on one of the videos to go and buy some chisels from Southern Stone Limited. Or if you want to start off with a simple little kit, cheap little kit, I've got reviews on 2 other types of chisels, what you can buy dirt cheap. One's like £12.5, other one's about £15. Give them a go, try them out. Southern Stone don't just sell chisels, sell hammers, stone. We're also going to be doing carve your own house sign in association with the TheStoneRanger soon. It's just sat in my porch because I've not got round to finalising the bits with them. Well, they're all ready to go. They were just waiting on me, which is disappointing because I should have done it really. So yeah, what I'm saying is, if you want to learn to stone carve and you've seen this, go out and do it. Just watch the channel, go and do it. But make sure you send me some pictures. You don't just have a go. It doesn't matter if you get it wrong. There's always another piece. There's always another piece of stone. Just have a go. And actually, when I teach this to people, I teach this to adults, young adults, and probation lads. I teach it at work, stone carving for them, only a couple of times a year, not too often. I'll give them a piece to start with at the beginning, and I'll say, right, I want you to carve this millstone, the shape of this millstone, or I want you to carve this, I want you to carve that. And I'll say, right, now really go for it. Like, do this. And what it does, you can see this tornado chaser, there's a massive spider. What that does, it gets them used to saying how hard they can hit the hammer, how hard they can swing the hammer and hit the chisel, how aggressive they can be. But they'll see how far they can push the stone before it breaks. And if it breaks, it doesn't matter because you've learned the limitation of the stone and you know how far you can go. You're not going to be holding back all the time, or you're not going to go as deep or as crisp as you should do, or you want to, and you're never going to explore the limits because you're too scared about breaking it. Go for it. It's a good thing. It is a good thing to for it to break because you're learning. What type of stone are you going to try on first? No, like a mason's mark. No, I did flirt with the idea. So my business was called Greenstone and Ivy. That might be why. If you've watched any of my older videos, it'll come up on the screen, Greenstone and Ivy. And I was going to do an ivy leaf, but just no. I don't know why. Maybe I will do. Just never really felt the need to. I can see why people like it. There's part of me just think it's the piece just is what it is. It stands out on its own, or does my style the way I carve. So, like I've said loads of times on this channel, I'm giving out advice all for free. I don't charge for any advice. I know there's other masons out there with a lot bigger fan base than mine, or not fan base is the wrong word. Subscriber count is the word than mine, and they charge every time they give a piece of advice. They charge for it. It's all free here. You just ask away and we'll give it you. But the disclaimer is I'm self-taught. I've not had an apprenticeship at York Cathedral. I've not been travelling around. Here comes a spider. You see him? He's a beast, look. Massive. He's not particularly got a big body, but his legs are huge. He's a friend. So yeah, the advice is there that I'm self-taught. I just had a go. Years and years ago, just had a go, and I've just been learning and practicing and getting better along the way. So that's the disclaimer. That might be why their subscriber count is so high. But I'm actually really impressed with my subscriber count. 7,800, I think we're on. Was it 7,700? Anyway, it's a lot. It's a lot. So yeah, it's no, I don't mark it. I like to think my style stands out enough on its own. Maybe I should mark it. $18 thumbs up is lovely. That is really, really lovely. It's not the most aggressive of evenings with the carving, is it? It's very light work this evening. The slate is a lot more delicate. So I think I'm going to carve the Everton logo on Sunday, all being well. But it'll be more in the daytime, so if anyone's around and they can drop in and say hi, that'd be amazing. Do you reckon we can push that to 18 thumbs up before I finish? I'm going to finish at past. There's some creaking and groaning behind me. Thanks, Brett. That is Brett, yeah. Thanks, Brett. Brett, I'm trying to get the thumbs up to 20 before I finish carving at 10:30. Can you help me? Can you stick a thumbs up on? Look at that. It's like it happened in front of my eyes. Thank you. Already liked his. Thanks, Brett. Do you do any stone carving? Saying there's some creaks and groans going on behind me this evening. I don't know if any of you are in the UK, but it's windy. It's been windy all day, and it's my next door neighbour's bin was halfway down the street when I got home. Is that coming? Is that wind coming through on the speaker? Can you hear that? It's definitely blowing. I quite like it. I think it's blowing the cobwebs away. Foggy, is it? It's whereabouts are you? Whereabouts in the country are you, James? It's definitely starting to feel like we've got that autumnal thing in the air. We're definitely on a shift, aren't we? There's the odd bit of colour changing here and there on the leaves, the plants. Scarborough, nice. I've never been to Scarborough. No, Scarborough's something that I've never been. I mean, I'd like to one day. I like travelling around the British Isles. It's the wife's not very keen on flying, and truth be told, I don't particularly like it that much. I'll do it. Um, I wouldn't look forward to anything long haul. I don't want to go to Australia. As much as I like Australia, I don't want to fly there. I mean, I'm happy to go in Europe and places. I went to Florida, which is a little bit too far. I'm happy to go around Europe, but I don't enjoy it. It's not a nice experience for me. I know some people do, but not for me. And there's some beautiful places in this country. I mean, I live in one of them, the Peak District, which is lovely. Have you ever been to the Peak District? We hit the 20 thumbs up, and we've got 16 minutes to go. So that's incredible. Oops. That's the camera. I've not done actually that bad tonight, though, hitting the camera. So the next stage is going to be wet and dry again. If you didn't see me do it the other night, I'm going to wet and dry again. Give it another go over with that, and then one more time with what I've just done, and it should start becoming something like where we're getting close. I'm just working on them fine little bits now. Yeah, the Peak District really is beautiful. Really, really is. I've lived in the Peak District my whole life. I work as a Peak Park Ranger and a carved stone. I am very lucky. Oops. Ooh, let's get around there. My shoulders are hurting. I didn't realise how much lifting up. I've been carrying timber up and down a place called Crome Hill today. I did mention it at the start of the chat. Lots of timber, 3.6 metre lengths, like 6.5 by 2.5, and it was wet timber, so it was heavy, and this hill was ridiculous, and it's been windy, like we've spoke about, and it'd be blowing it, and it'd be catching on there like you wouldn't believe, like a sail. Yeah, so my shoulder's hurting this evening. So it's probably a good thing that I'm getting ready to stop tonight. James, just out of curiosity, how long have you been watching the channel? I don't mean to see you. How long have you been subscribed to the channel? Hi. We've not seen you for a little bit. Nice to see you. Just, you've seen me working on this one before. It's back on. Just giving it a little bit more work on the workbench. Germany. Yeah, I think I remember you saying you was in Germany before. Or have you gone on, did you say you're going on holiday or you live in Germany? I remember Germany coming up somewhere. Oh, that's a horrible noise, isn't it? Oh, that's nice. 6 months. Yeah. Just out of curiosity, really, how many people tune into the lives who are new? How many have been around, and how long people have been around? I'm trying to start to learn and understand more about the channel, which will help me grow it. Set myself that. Well, I haven't. My daughter has, but it's that 10,000 subscriber target she set me. So I feel like I've got to learn the channel a bit to get there. So I'm going to wet and dry this again then before I. Well, it's not actually raining at the minute. It's just really windy. So wet and dry, 800 grit, bottle of water. So the reason for doing this is we're just trying to round it all off, get some nice edges on there. I've done it once already. This will be the second time. And then once it's dried again tomorrow, I'll go around it all and start crisping up, get a few more of these lines out. And we're getting somewhere then. It's starting to look good. I think I'm getting happy with it. So yeah, I'm just going to spray this on. Makes it look different. What do you reckon? And then I'm going to give it just a rub with some wet and dry. You're building up like a paste layer. Somebody said in the chat yesterday it was oddly satisfying. Whole family of Irish in Turkey. I spent a lot of time in Ireland. I know my dad went to Northern Ireland and his car got keyed because it had an English number plate on it. A bronze red. I don't know actually. I've never used one. I've always been. I think once I know a method and I know it works and I like it, I stick to it. I also like the fact that I'm doing it by hand and I can get in all the little nooks and crannies and I can. Yeah, it's, don't know. I like it. I like wet and dry, but maybe I'll give that a try. Bit more water. Another good tool to have in your armory is Sintride file. Don't see a lot of it me using a Sintride file in the chat in the live. You see a few in the videos, but in the live not so much. Great at rounding the edges off. So let's have a look. We've got one here. Yeah, like I think they're like £6. So because I need to roll these edges, I could just go around like that and just start rolling them with this. if it's got silicon carbide in it, and it'll roll them, and then we'll go across with the wet and dry. Yeah, they're a great thing. And then you get your water again under the way. So this is Slate. So I do work mainly with stone, but this is Slate this evening. And I'm just giving it, I want to have that pebble feel. There's not a lot more satisfying in this world than a beach pebble, or a pebble you pick up and think, that's a good skimmer. I have to skim that. And that's what I want. I want to be able to touch these edges here and it's round. I want to be at the red edge of all this. I want it to be smooth. And it's getting there. I can feel it. I can see it. So yeah, I'll just work this in again tonight like this. The edges I don't need to worry about too much because I'll do them separately. It's more on here, thinking tonight. Then I'll let it dry. And tomorrow, one last whip round. And it'll be done. Oh, thank you for watching. Like I was saying, somebody in a comment the other day, the channel is nothing without you guys watching. It's you guys subscribing. You've been around for 6 months, like you say now. It's yeah. I need you guys to subscribe and watch for it to be a channel. So yeah, it takes all of us to make it work. But I appreciate you saying that. That's nice. And don't forget, anybody has any questions, just email me. I don't think Tornado chases around too much this evening. Even he puts the email address in the chat, he's like a moderator. But you can email me TheStoneRanger08@gmail.com. You could probably scroll back through. We did put it up on earlier. Any questions, or you want to send any photos of stuff you've been working in, or you want to chat about anything, just yeah, I will get back to you and get back to everybody. Sometimes it takes me a little longer than others, but no, and I'm not going to charge you like the other guys. I can see why they do it. It's up to them, isn't it? I'm just not that type of person. I don't want to charge. Can I see your tools? Yeah, of course you can. So there's only a couple on my workbench at the minute. So I've got a nice big nylon hammer. Lovely hammer. I've had this a couple of years now. Love this hammer. And then I've got this hammer, which is I originally bought 8 years ago. So this is a dummy hammer, 600 gram. The only thing I've ever done to this hammer, original shaft and handle, put some glue in the top. We had a heat wave one summer, and it got a little loose. And then I've got chisels. You don't want to see the sin tried file really. It's we're not using that very often. Always keep a Turk's head, a couple of brushes for cleaning the chisel. So when I'm doing the stone, yeah, so it's a Turk's head there. Chisels, 6mm chisel, 4mm chisel, half bull nose chisel, 8mm. Oh, that's not an 8mm chisel. That's an 8mm chisel. So yeah, Italian tungsten. Decent length on them, decent grip. Tungsten tipped they are. Beautiful. Come from a family in Britain. They import them and ship them all around the world. Great chisels, all different prices. And then I've got one more hammer actually hiding away. This is a hammer I made once out of an old chair leg. And then I've got a few really cheap chisels. There's loads of chisels in front of me. This chisel here is a kit out of a kit you can buy for like £13 on Amazon or eBay. I did a review on them. They're not too bad, not too bad at all. I have a diamond sharpening block always at hand. It needs replacing, and then there's all your other stuff you get, like your squares and your compasses, all that type of stuff, and a light, and that's it here. But I have a workshop absolutely rammed full of tools, like saws, like all different types of stuff. So I was doing this as a business, and then I stopped. Sold up. Meant to be a park ranger. Great choice. And yeah, now I'm just doing it as a hobby for you guys online, giving away advice or chatting away while I'm carving. I do a few commissions. I do a lot for charities. A few commissions to keep some coppers in the bank for camera equipment and stuff like that. We're ready for a new camera. Thanks, I appreciate that. It's always nice to hear. It doesn't. You don't always get the nicest comments online, but you expect that when you have a YouTube channel. But no, I do appreciate people saying good things. They seem to attract more good people than bad. I would say that. I think that might be me. That's been a nice little live. I've enjoyed that. Um, nice to chat to James a bit more than normal. Nice to have new people in chat like yourself. Tornado Chaser's been on. I'm hoping he's the moderator to the channel, but I know he also is a lad in France. He's got his education to worry about, so I don't like get a bit worried that he's staying on too late doing this. And he's got college and bits. Yeah, so I'm going to leave it at that. Thank you all for joining. Let me spin the camera. Let me just show you a bit closer on the camera. Actually, I'll turn that light off again so you can see. Yeah, it's not the cleanest. But you can see I've made that paste up. Hello from Russia. I mean, you want to report him for that. So yeah, so I've made that paste up on there. All the edges are starting to get smooth. You can see it's coming together. So we'll give that a clean. It's quite satisfying actually when I do give it a clean. Yeah, it's coming together. So thank you all for watching. It's been great. I've enjoyed that. I'll see you all maybe Sunday. It's see you soon. Thank you.